7,000 square foot property. And late tonight, we saw agents walking out of this house carrying a cardboard box as well as several bags from the second story of the property out here. They were processing the scene there and could be seen taking notes on a table.
When you look at Floyd Mayweather, it was like, bro, did you budget? Yeah, you got big injections, but the big payments also went out. Why you got so many?
Yeah, so many of
like I'm talking about from money, cars, clothes, and the things that's next to the road.
Yeah.
But everybody got a ticket.
Say he's not going broke, he just wants to push off paying back the IRS. But I think this next document is a smoking gun. This is the collection appeal request Floyd sent to the IRS on why he couldn't pay. The explanation he sent was, need more time to gather the funds to pay in full. This is the IRS about to start seizing a personal loan. Why in the world, if he's made hundreds of millions of dollars, why doesn't he just pay the couple $1 million so he can get the IRS off his back?
Floyd Mayweather is reportedly under mounting financial strain after U.S. tax officials placed a $7.3 million lien against him. If the situation escalates, authorities could pursue some of his high-value possessions, potentially including his Las Vegas residence and collection of luxury automobiles.
A car back there. We're gonna take that car.
Reports indicate that the Internal Revenue Service has filed a $7.3 million tax lien against Floyd Mayweather over alleged unpaid obligations connected to the 2018 and 2023 tax years. Business Insider reported that the filing was made in Las Vegas last month, while official records indicated that the amount remained unpaid as of March 26. The situation has renewed scrutiny over how Mayweather has handled his finances. During his boxing career, the former champion generated hundreds of millions of dollars from major fights, endorsement deals, and various business interests. Mayweather previously welcomed Stephen A. Smith into his Las Vegas home and gave him an inside view of his lavish lifestyle. As part of the tour, he displayed an extensive collection of high-end automobiles, including Rolls-Royces, Ferraris, Bentleys, and Bugattis. Some of those vehicles were reportedly valued at several $1 million each.
$1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, you know, we are on ESPN. This is sports cars. This is sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these,
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drivers.
And you got your drivers in New York?
Yeah.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me are in excess of 15 to 20.
The Las Vegas estate matched the extravagance of his car collection, with features such as an indoor swimming pool, spa facilities, marble throughout the interiors, and several elevators. His enormous wardrobe area was filled with designer fashion, including Louboutin footwear and Birkin handbags, while the property also contained valuable artwork and highly detailed outdoor areas. That Mayweather's collection of luxury watches and jewelry further reflected his preference for expensive possessions. The entire residence was built to represent his financial achievements and public image. Rather than serving simply as a place to live, the mansion stood as a visible representation of the wealth behind the nickname that became closely associated with Mayweather.
Oh Lord, this is your closet?
Yeah.
I see the money team hats, along with various others.
Yeah.
Do you even know how many outfits you have?
I wear the same clothes, but I got a ton of clothes, but.
You're not overly concerned about clothes. I mean, you're gonna be suited down when you need to be suited and booted, but for the most part.
Well, today, I got on this today. Today's
I'm not talking about today.
Oh, today's just a chill day. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Today is like, okay, I ain't really got nothing, but you know what I'm saying? I do got a Patek Philippe on my wrist.
Okay.
I think this watch probably costs $100,000 with no diamonds.
possible?
Financial concerns involving Floyd Mayweather have reportedly continued to pile up. According to the Post, he is facing another lawsuit over an alleged $15,000 unpaid bill for private jet services. This comes shortly after claims involving $330,000 in overdue rent and the reported $7.3 million IRS tax obligation. These allegations have added more scrutiny to Mayweather's current financial situation. Recent reports have also raised questions about whether his highly publicized lifestyle reflects his actual financial position. Among the claims are that Mayweather suffered an $8 million loss on a mansion, made $54 million in loan payments, dealt with foreclosure involving another property, and sold his private aircraft, while still reportedly owing the IRS $7.3 million. Logan Paul has additionally alleged that Mayweather has yet to pay him $1.20 million. Former NFL MVP Cam Newton has also addressed the reports, saying he hopes the allegations surrounding Mayweather's finances are not accurate.
Throwing hundreds in the camera. See, when you depict that type of lifestyle, brother, it just gives people the thought to say, man, must be nice.
Must be nice.
But what, it'll be a thing if that runs out. Now, when you're writing bad checks and you're portraying this lavish lifestyle from private jets, PJs, and one of the most dumbest things that I seen, but I admired it. I was like, yo, you know what car or what area Floyd was in because of the color of his car. Did you ever peep that, Peggy?
What color was
See, all his cars was either white or black, depending on where it was. In Vegas, all his cars were a certain color. In Miami, all his cars were a certain color. The same fleet that we need to start getting them receipts and taking it back to the people to say, hey, I got 16 Rolls Royces. I got the 06, 07, 08, 09, 010, 011, 012.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the same car. Why do you
need that?
Anybody who knows luxury, brother, could tell you that's the price of playing luxury. Because how many versions of the Range Rover have you really?
Even with the financial issues being reported, Mayweather has continued to showcase high-priced automobiles, including newer Rolls-Royce models and other luxury cars. Some critics believe these displays are intended to preserve his wealthy public persona rather than prove that his finances remain secure. The apparent gap between the extravagant lifestyle he presents and the debts being reported has continued to draw significant attention.
And a lot of people think he got it, including the IRS, because he nearly owes them $7.3 million in a federal tax lien. So it's like he had it for you to owe $7.3 million. You had to have it.
That means you in taxes.
In taxes.
We was looking at them checks.
Yeah, we was.
I mean, he went from Pretty Boy Floyd, Money Mayweather, to Mr. Pay-Per-View.
Okay.
Because when you look at the reports of all the top grossing pay-per-view participants in the history of pay-per-view, he on there. Multiple times.
In that Mount Rushmore.
So I'm trying to tell you, it's not even a trick. But how did you?
Questions surrounding Floyd Mayweather's financial situation grew further after Spencer Cornelia addressed allegations that the former champion had used high-value watches and jewelry as loan security. Cornelia pointed to messages he said were dated August 2025, claiming they indicated that several of Mayweather's watches had been pledged against borrowed money. He also alleged that some pieces were released once portions of the outstanding balances were reduced, while other watches supposedly remained tied to those financial arrangements.
And he mentions that people have tried to take advantage of Jonah by bringing lawsuits against him as a way to extort him. And finally, Floyd writes, "I appreciate you taking the time to read this letter, Your Honor. I would just ask that you consider my personal testimony that Jonah Rechnitz is a good person." He claimed that he didn't know about Jonah's past in the complaint, yet he wrote that letter in support of Jonah, showing he clearly knew about the litigation in New York. so it doesn't seem to add up. Many have speculated that Mayweather is coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao because he needs the money. Yes, this is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025 of Jonas sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many had been returned after the balance was paid down. Here's the next message of another collection of watches that were used for a loan. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned. This indicates he continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money. Now, obviously, his broke is a lot different than broke for me and you, but at this time he needed money, so he decided to pawn $13 million from his watch collection. He does have his own jet and has flown private for a couple decades, and he has an extensive exotic car collection. But what has been shared with me is that his lifestyle is so expensive that he constantly needs to take out loans against the
Cornelia also claimed that Mayweather had used watches valued at roughly $13 million to obtain additional cash. He pointed out that financial hardship for someone like Mayweather would look very different compared with an ordinary person. However, Cornelia argued that maintaining such an expensive lifestyle could mean repeatedly borrowing money by putting valuable possessions up as security. Mayweather has long been associated with an image built around high-end automobiles, private aircraft, luxury timepieces, and expensive jewelry. Because of that, these allegations have prompted further questions over whether the wealth displayed publicly represents readily available fortune or assets that may be leveraged to fund his lifestyle.
So around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees. And he mentions needing another $360,000 by Friday so the fees don't keep adding up. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. Jonah shared with me that people pay up to 3% per month, which is why the fees were so high. That loan was almost paid in full. If you reread Joel's message, it makes sense. Joel says, I have recouped everything and hasn't had to sell any pieces. All that remains is another $360,000 so Floyd doesn't have to pay any more fees. In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell watches because he was paid back and made $1.5 million in fees. In the complaint, Floyd discusses pawning his $100 million jewelry collection with the words, to be pledged or placed in the possession of Joel, a Miami jewelry dealer. The amount received was around $13 million. A substantial portion of the pledged jewelry remains in the possession of Joel and Modi, and no accounting has been provided him.
In July 2017, reports emerged that Floyd Mayweather was dealing with over $30 million in outstanding tax liabilities to the IRS. Around that same period, speculation suggested that his highly anticipated bout with Conor McGregor was not only about competition, but also about generating enough income to address those financial responsibilities that McGregor took advantage of the reports during the promotion, repeatedly portraying Mayweather as the fighter who needed the matchup more. His remarks about Mayweather's clothing and financial situation added another layer of hostility to an already intense fight buildup. Despite those claims, Mayweather had accumulated extraordinary wealth over the course of his career. Forbes had estimated that his boxing earnings had reached roughly $700 million by 2016. He had also put substantial money into real estate, including a reported $600 million investment involving rental properties. Questions have nevertheless surrounded the precise details and ownership arrangements connected to some of those investments, making the reports about Mayweather's financial difficulties even more notable. Had a larger portion of his fortune been preserved through more conservative financial management, the situation involving alleged tax obligations and other expenses could have been considerably different. Instead, Mayweather has maintained an exceptionally costly lifestyle involving high-end automobiles, luxury watches, expensive properties, and numerous other assets. The lifestyle built around spending heavily to showcase wealth can require enormous amounts of money to maintain, particularly when there are no frequent boxing paydays coming in ultimately. The bigger issue is not the amount of money Floyd Mayweather managed to earn throughout his career. The more important question is how successfully he was able to protect and maintain that wealth over time.
Return on investment is going to be here, but
I'll just throw my guess out there for fun. I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to the 18% that 601 was claiming on their website. I think his return is going to look a little bit more like if he were to put his money into a REIT. Like for a simple example, if we look at Realty Income Corp, this is one of the most popular REITs around. They hold over 15,000 commercial properties in their portfolio, spread out over 90 different industries, and these guys pay a monthly dividend of about 5.5% if you invest your money with them. I'm sure 601 is giving Floyd a better return on his investment than Realty Income would give you or I, but it's generally the same concept as what I'm thinking, which means that if you put $100 million into this fund, he's probably making something like $600,000 per month on his investment. Next story. This one is definitely a change of pace. Floyd has now decided to invest a chunk of his money in the famous Versace mansion in Miami.
The latest filing carries even more weight when considered in the context of Floyd Mayweather's recent financial activity. According to Business Insider, Mayweather reportedly parted ways with his private aircraft and properties in both Miami and Beverly Hills toward the end of 2025 to several other holdings, including homes and his Las Vegas strip club, were reportedly pledged against money he owed financier Don Hankey. In another incident, 2 condominium units at Trump Las Vegas were temporarily taken over because of unpaid property taxes, although the properties were returned once those tax bills had been settled. Even with these financial challenges, Mayweather continued living a highly extravagant lifestyle. Large amounts of money reportedly went toward luxury vehicles, expensive timepieces, jewelry, and other premium purchases. That situation creates a noticeable contrast. Mayweather appeared to keep displaying his wealth while simultaneously dealing with debts, legal matters, and other financial responsibilities, raising questions about the way he managed his money. His acquisition of the famous Versace mansion could also be viewed differently from a simple luxury purchase. The property functions as a high-end hotel, giving it the potential to produce revenue instead of existing solely as Mayweather's personal home. The estate also carries significant prestige because of its connection to the Versace name, a brand closely associated with the luxury fashion world and reportedly aligned with Mayweather's personal tastes. As a result, the purchase can be seen as a combination of business opportunity and status. Still, when placed alongside his other substantial expenditures and the financial difficulties that have been reported, the acquisition contributes to the broader picture of Mayweather maintaining a lifestyle centered around displaying wealth on an extraordinary level.
Heck, did Floyd Mayweather want to buy a piece of this place? Well, apparently he's partnering with the current owners, the Nikesh family, and someone else named Eli Gindi to acquire a large stake in the home. He's taken the majority of Gindi's interest for an undisclosed price, and all Floyd had to say about this deal is that he feels blessed to be a part of such an important piece of real estate. Since we have basically no context on his motives here, I'm just gonna do my best to put my spin on why he probably made this move. First, this home will probably spit off some cash flow for him because it is functioning like a hotel at this point. So he's kind of buying into a hotel with this one. Plus, the fact that it's the Versace mansion tells us that it will probably continue to appreciate pretty good over time. Second, this is just one of those trophy properties. Like, this is the type of house that you buy to have in your portfolio just because it makes you feel good and it gives you kind of something to brag about. And last, I don't really know anything about fashion, obviously, but Floyd wears a lot of fancy clothes. Some of those clothes are probably Versace.
As renewed attention falls on Mayweather's finances, his involvement in major exhibition opportunities has come under greater scrutiny. One matchup that has continued to generate discussion is a possible second fight with Manny Pacquiao. However, despite years of talks surrounding the rematch, no official deal has been completed. Delays and uncertainty have continued to leave the event's status unresolved. Commentator Luke Thomas has questioned what may be driving Mayweather's ongoing pursuit of high-profile bouts that can generate substantial revenue. Given the extraordinary amount of money Mayweather accumulated throughout his professional career, financial necessity alone would not necessarily explain why he would continue competing. Still, reports involving outstanding debts, legal challenges, and the enormous expense associated with his lifestyle have fueled speculation that financial considerations could be playing an important role in his decision to remain active in lucrative exhibition events.
Handing on him pretty continuously, but Logan was much bigger. And then after the fight, Floyd had said explicitly, I'm not really going to do, I need to know what my limits are here. I'm not really going to go back to doing professional stuff, because during that week he was like, oh, I'd fight McGregor again and blah, blah, blah. He kept doing the exhibition thing. Well, now he's going back to the professional side. So let's talk about it. Why is this fight happening? I actually feel like the explanation is basically threefold, with some of that being really kind of...
Mayweather's reported interest in lucrative crossover matchups has gone beyond the possibility of facing Manny Pacquiao again. Ali Abdelaziz, the manager of Khabib Nurmagomedov, previously claimed that Mayweather had repeatedly expressed interest in boxing Khabib and suggested that financial concerns could be influencing that pursuit. Abdelaziz described the situation by saying that Mayweather continued trying to make the matchup happen, while also claiming that people were regularly contacting him about a potential fight between the two. He maintained that Khabib's team was not interested in pursuing the event at that time. Those remarks added further fuel to the ongoing discussion about Mayweather's finances and his interest in major crossover events following his professional retirement. That it is important to note that these comments represent Abdelaziz's own characterization of the situation and do not establish Mayweather's actual financial motivations. Nevertheless, they became part of the wider narrative surrounding the boxer's reported financial circumstances that a second meeting with Pacquiao could potentially provide Mayweather with another massive payday, while also allowing both fighters to revisit one of the biggest rivalries of their careers. For now, though, the rematch remains unconfirmed, meaning any claims about exactly why Mayweather wants to compete again should be treated as speculation. Even so, the circumstances surrounding the potential return have continued to strengthen the narrative that financial considerations may be influencing his interest in another major fight.
The reporting on Floyd recently has been pretty unambiguous. He is in a lot of debt, and despite the fact that he made over $1 billion during the course of his career, and by the way, did that without sponsors, by and large, without sponsors, is a remarkable achievement. I don't know what he's done with his money, but he doesn't have much more of it. He's now literally doing, I've seen liquor sales, and he's a known teetotaler, which is kind of a strange turn unless you recognize the guy has money issues. The same is true for Pacquiao. Pacquiao had money issues during the latter portion, frankly, of his active run, where he had tax problems, and so where he was competing was, at certain points, he would go to places that had like low tax thresholds just so he could hold on to more of his purse. So his situation is certainly one of these as well. These guys need money, and I don't know what the purse is going to be for Netflix. I suspect it will be substantial, but let's just be honest about it. Reason number one, they're broke. Reason number two, to me, I don't have much to say on this because I have not figured it out, but there's just a lot of nostalgia.
That brings us to the end of today's video. Keep following for more updates, and I'll see you in the next one.